Good evening and salutations, my YNR fans. Okay, let's start off with Adam and Chelsea. Okay, I know it's going to be kind of harsh to sit there and say, but I feel like somebody needs to say it at this point. Listen, I get that OCD is a very serious thing, right? Especially among a child. And although I'm not a parent, I can only imagine how difficult it is to be taking care of a child and how heartbreaking that is, going through that process and help and things of that nature. With that being said, I am getting so sick and tired of these depressing as self-loathing conversations. Okay, there's only so much I can sit there and take when I'm watching Adam and Chelsea doubt themselves and blame themselves and being like, oh, what are we gonna do? And this, that, and the third. And after a while, I'm partly just like, bro, listen, we've been going through this for like 2 months. I know this is a lifelong process. It's not something that's just meant to just, I don't know. I don't want to sit there and say get easier, but I'm like, God damn, this is also a fantasy, right? And this is where we get into issues when it comes towards dealing with mental health, because here's the thing. If people feel like it's not being taken seriously enough, they get offended. But then you have people like me that's like, all right, it is being taken seriously, but now it's not entertaining, right? And at the end of the day, I'm not saying, well, you got to sit there and please me or anything like that, but this is just a problem where it's like, no one winds up winning. No one winds up winning. This is why, like, on some levels, it's, even though I do critiques on these soap operas, you can't please everyone. Hell, I can't please everyone. And I don't try to. I just sit there and say what I say. Now, it's going to resonate with you in a good way, or you're going to be like, you're not going to really rock me, which is totally fine. And that's the same thing for this show. It's like, yeah, they're dealing with it in a very serious way, and how parents will sit there and react, but after a while, it's like, God damn. So you got that going on, right? And eventually Nick comes in and Nick talks to Chelsea when Adam leaves to talk to Sally and the jet and everything like that, getting ready. And Chelsea's not really holding it together. She's also having problems with concentrating with work and saying most likely she's going to sit there and take a step away, or she doesn't know what to do because she's the only one that could sit there and really do her job. No one else could really sit there and replace her. While Adam is sitting there talking to Sally and her stagnated career, Adam's like, would you sit there and step in for Chelsea? So he comes back, and the jet is all ready and stuff like that. And of course, Chelsea's still thinking about work on top of everything else. Adam's like, hey, listen, why don't you just, concentrate on Connor, let Sally sit there and, take over for a little bit. Now, it'd be interesting if they were going to sit there and get really messy, that she takes over, but then when she comes back, Sally's like, I mean, I know I was supposed to stay on temporarily, but, I was having so much fun. How about just stay on, indefinitely? Then I could sit there and see some sort of rift and messy soap opera and stuff. I imagine that's how the old Sally was. The old Sally would have sat there and took that position and be like, yeah, I'm keeping this job. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is, sis. That would be messy soap opera. Unfortunately, I kind of doubt they're going to do it that way, but it would be interesting. Now, Victor is sitting there looking at Chelsea, is looking at Cole and Michael and being like, what the hell are y'all doing? Do you understand what this woman has done? Listen, I know that Colleen Zink is a legendary actress, but I've said this in my live streams. I haven't said this in my reviews because I haven't really done a wine art review in a while, but like, I feel like the way that she acts would be something like, it would be good on Days of Our Lives. Okay, she acts very hammy and very over the top, and I feel like that's how the villains are on some level sometimes on these soaps like Days of Our Lives, but like she overdoes it. Okay, and after a while, it just becomes like, oh come on, like what are we doing? You're doing way too much. You know, she's always like, just this like heavy breathing and panting and like, why am I here? And like, just like you just sit there, and you're just like. I mean, when she first came in, yes, she brought some excitement and gave the Newmans a run for their money, but now it's like her acting has just gotten very hammy, and I feel like she's just kind of overstayed her welcome. Um, but you know, they go upstairs and they try to convince him, hey, listen, this is a bad idea for a couple of different reasons. You can go to jail. Nikki find out. Nikki, it could set Nikki back, or she can find a way to escape. Okay, now yeah, Victor did catch her this time, right? But who sit there and say there's not more stuff in the mattress, or she finds another way to escape, and then what? Then what? Because honestly, to tell you the truth, I can see them writing it that way, where she does wind up escaping, causes some more damage, and the game just starts all over again to a point where people just like, alright, you're doing too much. So they finally convince him, hey, listen, just be the hero, destroy his cell, we take her back to jail, you'll be the hero. Even if she does sit there and talk, she already sounds like a nut job, and I have no evidence. So then what? Then what are you going to? Then what are you going to do? We're just making some story. We'll back you up, and it'll work itself out. Because in reality, Victor was like, he didn't like it. He didn't trust the jail system because he was like, hey, listen, remember what happened? We took her to jail last time, and a whole bunch of people are dead because of her. Guards, inmates, my family, but the guards and the inmates. And on some level, I get that, but it's not a definite plan. Honestly, to tell you the truth, it would have been better off just killing her. If we're gonna be honest, you would have just been better off killing her and just been done, instead of playing this game where I come downstairs and I message you for my amusement, you know. But he realized that on some level, and he was like, yeah, listen, I'll do it. But even with that being said, he was like, yo, listen, I'm still gonna treat this as an act of betrayal. So we ain't cool just because I'm doing this. I'm letting you know that right now. He put them on notice. Tucker is still dealing with his trifling ass ex-girlfriend, Audra, which I don't understand. Did he give her any sort of power, any sort of shares or anything like that? Because she's in Paris, she's making all these moves, making these meetings and stuff like that. I'm like, you don't have any. I don't really understand how that works, but he just got tired of it. He was like, no, listen, I'm going down to Paris. I'm going to sit there and take care of this myself because you're doing too much. That's the problem with a woman like Audra. Audra's the type of woman that's like, yeah, she's good with you as long as you sit there and keep doing what she wants you to do. The minute y'all have a disagreement, oh no, she's ready to take your company. She's ready to make you jealous. She's ready to sit there and do all these stupid, petty, nonsense, BS things that a woman who says she's no longer in her 20s is still acting like she's in her 20s, doing all this petty stuff like making him jealous with Nate and everything. I'm like, what are you doing? What in the hell are you doing? And you look at that whole thing. Let's be honest. Tucker is not in love with Audra. He loves Audra, but he's not in love, and that's the same thing with Audra. Audra's not in love with Tucker. She loved Tucker on some level, but not enough to sit there and marry. And she talks about she doesn't believe in marriage. She wouldn't have that same energy with Noah. Noah would have sat there and got on one knee when she came back for him. She would have said yes. Okay? So this whole, I don't believe in marriage or whatever, I'm like, you don't believe in him. You're not in love with him. So of course you're not going to be in the idea in love with marriage. And speaking of Ashley is talking to Jack and talking to Tracy, I think. And then she just zones out, has a meeting with her two alters, and they're like, hey, listen, we need to take control and this, that, and the third. And she finally comes out of it. She's like, yeah, I need help. I need help like ASAP. Now she did sit there for some odd reason, kicked Alan out the house, but then she came over to Alan's hotel and You know, she's like, hey, listen, I'll be fine. I'm gonna do everything I said I'm gonna do. Don't worry. It was like, what do you mean, don't worry? You've been doing nothing but changing into your alters, saying you're gonna do stuff like go get help, and then you're at a bar, and they're flirting with piano lists and stuff like that. So when you sit there and say, I'm gonna be fine, trust me, it's like, well, you can't even sit there and say it with a straight face. They, you know, when she got there, Alan was already talking to Jack and everything to make sure that she got there. And Ashley almost seemed like she was kind of, oh, that was Tracy, that was Jack. I was like, bro, given your track record, I'm surprised they didn't follow you there. But she does get there and she says, hey, listen, you know, if I gotta go to Paris, I'm gonna go to Paris. Now it's gonna be very interesting to sit there and see how they do this with, you know, Y&R is on the cheap. Y&R is on the cheap, okay? They had that nasty, tacky ass, terrible green screen with Harris and Kyle and Claire when they went to the carnival, and I was just like, y'all could have just said that y'all went to the carnival. If y'all were gonna show that, y'all could have just said that y'all went to the carnival. I mean, come on. Does anyone remember that? And this is what's this guy's name? Wayne talks soaps. When he said that the soaps are broke, the American soaps are broke. And he talked about this one scene with Harris, with Jack and somebody in the park looking at Harris play. Even though we didn't sit there and see Harris play with any kids, we didn't see any park, you know, them playing soccer or anything like that. We just had to imagine the whole thing. It was like at that point, y'all could have just told us that y'all went to the carnival, because that just looked bad. Um, and I know it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's a soap, it's on a cheap budget. You just kind of have to sit there and go with it. But it's like, come on, seriously? Would you enjoy? You know, sometimes when I sit there and look at them do stuff like that, it's like, would you enjoy that? If you were watching one of your favorite shows and you saw that, would you enjoy that? No. And why the hell would you show that to somebody else? Just saying. Now, I feel like that's about it. If I did mention anything, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows, The Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, Days of Our Lives, and GH isn't new today, but we can sit there and still talk about GH though, because, you know, this is GH. It's General Hospital. And with that being said, I'm going to go. I will see you in the next video. And hopefully live stream, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.